Okay, so today's video might actually be extremely relatable because we're going to be talking about acting like you're busy. And before we actually begin this video, I'm gonna tell you guys what I think about acting busy. Because if you're, let's say you're in the gym, right, and you're, instead of running, you're walking because you just don't have energy to run, or maybe you're with friends and instead of talking, you're just listening, that's not acting like you're busy. That's okay. You can do that. If you're in the gym and you're not talking to people, but you're actually listening to like a video or a podcast or something, you're not acting like you're busy. You're concentrated, you're focused on a goal. That's okay. That's totally different. What I'm talking about when I mean acting like you're busy is, let's say you're in a public place, right? You're in a mall or something and you're by yourself and people look at you. And instead of you enjoying the mall and giving people a smile, a confident like hi, or looking at them and just doing a smile, acting like you're in the moment, you take your phone and you instantly start doing the phantom scrolling. And when I talk about phantom scrolling, I mean like you take your phone, right? You unlock it and you do this. You do dun. Maybe you go to Reddit, maybe you check Facebook, or maybe you check your messages, and then you put your phone back in. That is acting like you're busy. And everybody that I know has done it. No exceptions. I don't care if you're the most confident person in the world, you have had phantom scroll, because I feel like it started back in this generation. Like, I feel like this went up exponentially after like the early 2000s, right? Because I mean, my generation, we're like almost Gen Z. I'm 24, so I'm like the old guys, but like really short, not really like almost to the new guys. I don't know what they call it. I don't care about generations and all like that. But one thing that I will say about that is that at least when I was raised, every time that things got hard, I would immediately go to my Game Boy at the time. I would go and play video games and stuff like that, right? I would, go and watch a movie if I was busy, like I was like bored or stuff, right? And that subconsciously created a safe place that I always have just in case I feel uncomfortable. And for now, the modern version of this would be phone, right? And back then the phone, well, you had like nothing to do, so a lot of people would just like talk, and this would get boring. But now these phones are extremely addictive, guys. These phones have video games, they have movies, they have social media, they have social media, in that in itself is like the reason why so many people are like now acting like busy. Because every time you get uncomfortable, or you're with friends, let's say you're having a conversation and the conversation just dies because for some whatever reason, right, you just don't have nothing to talk about. Maybe you don't have enough skill in how to keep conversations going, which by the way, talking is a skill, so you should develop it. I might make a video on that in the future. That's a good idea, actually. But you might be talking to a friend, right, and maybe they're not into the conversation, and you kind of just don't know what to say, so it dies. And what do they do? What do you do? And what might she probably do, right, or they do? The phone. They go to the phone, and then it's always the same pattern. Random moving, right? Check your social media or check your messages, and then put the phone back down. And if you're really uncomfortable, you might actually act like you're, I'm paying attention to this. And that is, believe it or not, that is a cope. That is a cope, and it's a cope that everyone does, and I do it all the time. Trust me, I'm still working on it. This is why I want to make this video, because by me making this video, I am telling myself that I know it's a cope, and I want to face it. I want to fix it. And I actually talked to one of my friends at work when we do side gigs. I see the same person all the time, and I always say hi, right? And I remember we were talking about this stuff, and he told me that every time that he would act like he's busy because we were talking about this stuff, he told me that he did something really like awkward, something that will put him back in the present moment. Because when you try to hide acting like you're busy, you're essentially hiding. You're like doing this. Yeah, it might be for like a couple seconds, but you're still doing it. And if you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, what happens is that you snap out of this like comfortable place and you go back to reality, And for him, what he did, and he told me this, and I wouldn't do it, but he does. He does a push-up. Like, he goes to the floor, does a push-up, does this, and says, okay, I'm back in reality. Snap back to reality. And believe it or not, I could actually see that putting you back in the present moment. Because not only is it something that not only will you shake out the people around you, because they'll be like, oh God, what the... Now they all stop using their phones. Now they're back in reality. So you became like this sort of reason for people to go back to the present moment, right? And I mean, you don't have to do it that way. Like, if you're genuinely busy, like say you're actually checking a message, you have a different vibe than if you're just acting busy. Trust me, because if you're actually busy, like, it can be told. People have these things called micro expressions, and you can actually tell if somebody's hiding or somebody's actually like busy. You'll see it in their expression. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, guys, I just want to make a short video on this. If you're hiding from your life, and you say, it usually happens, like I said, when you're like uncomfortable, or when you're with friends and the conversation and stuff like that, how can you fix it? Well, honestly, I don't think it can be fixed, because it's a generational problem. It's not something like back then. If you were, it was just much more harder, because you have friends that also had a different way of coping with it. So they would just, maybe the cope back then wasn't to hide in your phone and be one of the millions of people on the social media, because, you know, some people don't like standing out. I think most people subconsciously, they kind of have like a battery for that. Like for me, I like being social for a bit, and then I just shut down. I don't want to talk to anybody. Some introverts just don't like talking to people, period. But they actually like hanging out, because every human being is social. Doesn't matter if you're introverted, extroverted, and I'm gonna make a video in the future. We are all social. You just have to be in the right scenario, right? Maybe I'm not confident talking about, I don't know, lawnmowers. I'm at a Lowe's right now, that's why I just came up with that. Well, lawnmowers, right? But, so I'm not going to tell you what I think about lawnmowers. Oh, you use them to mow grass, I guess. I mean, did you know Lamborghini did a lawnmower like a long time ago? Yeah, it's stuff like that, you know? But maybe somebody is really passionate about lawnmowers, and they're going to be way more confident talking about lawnmowers than I am. I don't know, I might not be interested in it, but what he can't do is, well, if you're not interested in lawnmowers, what are you interested about? And if they tell you, oh, I don't know, then you tell them, well, I'm never gonna know if you don't know. And you see how you turn this hiding into something that you can talk about. It's just, I just think talking is a skill that you should develop. So yeah, I'm still working on it. I don't have a lot of skill interacting with people, but I do practice by talking on the camera, which I always say that you should try making things awkward. And hey, somebody bought something from the Etsy shop. That's cool. So, you know, you should always try practicing talking, even if it's just with friends, maybe with family. Maybe I'd say it's better if you talk with like strangers, because that's the fastest way to develop yourself. So, you know, but strangers in something that you actually find like small talk about. So something that you can constantly circulate around different strangers, because believe it or not, even if you don't know how to talk with people, if there's a reason for that conversation, you're naturally going to do it. When I'm doing side gigs and somebody approaches me or I go to a restaurant, I have a reason to be there. The reason you do the phantom thing where you like act you're busy is because you have no reason to be there. Maybe you do have a reason, but you just don't have a reason to act like you have a reason there right now, so you go to the phone. Like maybe you're talking with friends and they're talking about something you don't care about, so you go to your phone. But what you're actually doing is just hiding. That's just what I think of it, you know. And the way you cope with this, like I said, is that you don't cope with it. You act on it and you fix it, or you keep it under control. Is that you actually give it a reason to do that. If you're talking in a conversation, the conversation dies. Come up with a strategy on like, oh, what if the conversation comes awkward? Like I literally have a note that I literally pre-planned. You can do this, by the way, because comedians and people like the people that talk a lot, even people that do self-improvement videos, there's actually a template to this. I don't have a template because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but eventually I'll have a template, and you're gonna realize that there's like a pattern to these videos. And same with conversations, guys. Comedians have patterns. If you don't believe me, like check out comedians, the way they speak. One of the channels that I like to listen to about like talking and stuff like that is Charisma on Command. Those people tell you exactly how conversations are. Like he put it down to the science, and you're gonna realize that conversations are a lot of routines and patterns. It's crazy, because humans are basically routines. You can't predict human behavior just by seeing how they act, you know. But anyway, back to the thing, right? You turn that hiding into something that you can turn as a momentum weapon. And every time you feel like momentum is dying, pull out your meme playlist. You know, every time you feel like momentum is dying, oh, let me show you something that I reminds me of the place we're in. Or, oh, let me show you this game that I'm playing. Or, you know, you use it as a weapon. And even if you're genuinely like, I just don't know what to talk about, maybe show them something you did. Something like, oh, I'm going to show you the progress in the shop, guys. Like, look at this. And you're going to realize that you're going to be able to keep the conversation going. And the phone that you're hiding with will slowly and eventually go back to your pocket, and you'll be back in the present moment. It's just that easy. It's just, you know, if you're just conscious of it, you'll stop it. You'll fix it, you know. So I don't know, guys. I just want to make a short video on this because I had this issue a lot, and I'm trying to work with it. You know, when I'm busy, like when I'm genuinely busy, I barely think of my phone. And you're not gonna think of your phone when you're genuinely busy. You're only gonna think of it when you're actually just like trying to hide with it or trying to act like you're busy. So I don't know, if you do that, let me know how you guys deal with acting like you're busy. Do you actually use it as a tool, or do you just hide in it? Because I feel like hiding is what most people do, but some people actually do use it as a tool. And I had a friend in college that used to do that all the time. When he used to use his phone, he actually gave it a purpose, because he would use his phone for a minute and he's like, oh, let me show you guys something. And then he would like show you know, the Among Us character, and you're like, oh my god, bro, Among Us. You sound like a fucking retard. Anyway, guys, let's just end this video. I just want to make a short video on this. If you have any ideas on how to deal with this cope of acting like you're busy, let me know. I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear any tips, and maybe I'll make a part 2 that's more educational, because I'm just giving you guys my opinion of it right now. But anyway, that's enough for today, guys. Today has been a really good day for those of you that care. Like, I woke up really early today, like 5 in the morning, and I did my side gigs. I did my you know, my work, and I'm already made $150, and I'm literally like, it's only like 1:38 today, so I literally have time to just make another. I might break $200 today. I don't know. I just want to make a short video today because, you know, I'm almost on the. I am 4 days away from getting back into the, like, going into the van full time. So yeah, you might not see a video for a week or so because I'm actually gonna move here and I'm gonna try to make it look nice. Like, the reason I was in a Lowe's, I can't show you because it'll show you what I'm at, but the reason I was in a Lowe's is because I was looking for like a wooden plank to put where I'm gonna put the bed in, because my frame doesn't quite fit the van. But anyway, guys, I just want to make a short video on this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.